So today, and it started yesterday. It didn't start today. It started yesterday evening. Oh, there's a play which is going to be performed in at the drama festival in Nakuru. And what is happening is that the government, the authorities are not very comfortable with the play. It was not clear who the authority is, because from every government official outside there, GC, chief, MCA, O, MP, wards, police, DCI, everybody's called an authority. So I don't know what authority means, but it's a very vague word always to say government official or authority, or it's a very vague kind of phrase to use to describe an official. So they said that the authorities are not very comfortable with the idea of the play being screened. In the evening, in fact at night, we saw a video of Malala, streaming some video of himself. It was very funny, because I wondered how Malala was so ready with a phone camera or whatever camera he was using to record himself or being recorded, saying that, alikuwa na argue na DCIO. The DCIO didn't want him, or they wanted to make an arrest because of what, and he was already in the car. Malala, in fact, had some papers ready, which means that he was very much prepared for the whole kind of scenario. And it looked suspect in all ways and forms. So finally, Malala ended up in a police station, and then now you're being told, Najua, in the morning there's a huge deployment, huge. I don't know which play people attend at 6, but as early as 6 a.m. there was a huge deployment of police officers, and journalists were already there at 6. I don't know when the journalists of Kenya started being so serious. They attend functions at 6 a.m. Hey, I didn't know. This thing looked all sage from the word go. And 6, 7, 8 Sasa was a peak. The gate blocked, whatever was happening, nobody was going to enter the place. It looked suspect in all ways and forms. And whatever happened in Butere at the drama festival, it is very unfortunate. Because what is happening is that the impeached former deputy president and his minions, his surrogates, have decided to now use the children who are below 18. Everybody in the secondary school is always assumed, most of them, but the majority of them are below 18. And they are now being used to settle political scores, or as a platform for campaigning against William Ruto. The same people who are telling us how good and perfect William Ruto is are now using all manner of, emotional rage hunting, ethnic platforms to ensure that they cause as much as emotional damage as they can. And I find it very unfortunate, because it is a scheme which Malala used first to rig all other relevant students and schools from the platform. Malala used the controversy around himself and the play to ensure that all the schools who had probably better plays than himself were not on the scene. And I wondered how Malala became a very critical player on the platform after leaving the teaching profession back home. When you become an active political player, it is very scary to allow such a player to now become an active participant in the school matters, because schools are hallowed grounds. Schools are just like you're seeing in the US, where Donald Trump is being told about, Columbia University, Harvard University, trying to crack down the students who are using the platform for activism and so on. Schools are hallowed grounds. And that's why you don't see politicians in the US enter the schools, the universities, to help the students with their courses. Because that is the exclusive platform for the teachers and the students. The college professors and the students. It's not for us. It's not for us Raia to go to the schools and apply our trade. It's not for us politicians who are applying our trade outside here to come to use the school platform as a means of furthering our politics. And I find it very dangerous that, Wamunyoro gang tried to use the Gen Z, who are mostly college students and graduates, to overthrow William Ruto in 2024. But suddenly, now they have become so bold that they are willing to use primary and secondary school students to do the same, which it is very odd, it's scary, it's being allowed, the teachers see it, but I wish the TSC, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Interior, the ICT Ministry, all the relevant ministries must enforce the child protection laws in this country, the education laws in this country, the laws which promotes law and order in this country, to ensure that such a thing does not happen again. Any teacher, any organizer who participated in the event and allowed it to be used as a political platform must be punished, must be disciplined. You see, any person who promoted Malala to ensure that all the students from the other platforms, I heard Kaimosi had a very nice play there, but they could not get airtime because they are not controversial enough, or they didn't have a controversial scriptwriter. So the teachers and the principal of Butere girls who allowed Malala to use the students as guinea pigs in his schemes to score points against William Ruto must be punished. That principal must be called out, must be named, must be interdicted immediately to ensure that such a thing does not happen again. There is no way you are going to allow this, and if the government of William Ruto is going to allow this, then he should prepare to blame himself more, because we will be encouraging a very bad behavior, very bad precedent being set here, that people can now use children however young they are. Tomorrow you will see kindergarten kids being used to insult leaders or to further political agendas, just because they know that the kindergarten kids might not be considered active political players. So we have to call out, the teachers, the organizers of the whole drama festival, the Ministry of Education officials who allowed this thing to go on for so long, from the zonal to the divisional to the to the national level, to ensure that they are punished. Cleophas Malala, a political player who used the kids as guinea pigs in his schemes of political gymnastics, he must be held to account. All those players should not go unpunished. And I say this with very huge respect to anybody who is claiming political freedoms or freedom of expression and all manner of freedoms which the newly converted freedom fighters are finding convenient to cling on. I call on them to ensure that the school grounds are hallowed grounds. Those are holy grounds. They should be left for teachers and students. Any one of us outside here who is going to use the school grounds to further their political agendas must know that it should not be tolerated. It cannot be tolerated. It must stay a neutral place for whatever person with whatever belief in whatever politics. Tomorrow you will have students who are not aligning with a certain agenda, not being admitted to some schools. Today you'll go to Wamunyoro will tell you that Mango High School is only for kids who are who are of parents who are supporting his agenda. We must not allow school grounds to become political playgrounds. And that one, I say, and I repeat, with a lot of respect to whatever political freedoms and freedoms you are claiming you should have or you have, or whatever conversions, whatever salvation you got recently to claim to be a freedom fighter for anything, But what I know is that the tribalists are going to make this a huge agenda. They are going to ensure that William Ruto is smeared as much as possible. We are telling them that we don't support whatever scheme they have against William Ruto, and not because William Ruto is the perfect president, but because William Ruto is the legitimately elected and sitting president of the Republic of Kenya. For sanity, law and order, William Ruto must go up to 2027. And when we sit down as a coalition or as a party and we decide to support him, there is nothing you can do. So the only thing is that you just need, like William Ruto also sometimes tell you guys, you need an agenda. And agenda must never be that don't vote for somebody because I hate him. Give us an agenda. This is what you'll do differently about education, what you'll do differently about ICT, about agriculture, about devolution. How are you going to execute things differently? What should be done? But you don't tell us that, we don't support William Ruto because ametoa Gachagua. So kwani hiyo city was meant for Gachagua? Bwana, lakini yote 9, 10, let's not use kids for a political agenda. The moment we use kids for a political agenda, we are destroying the young souls, and it must be punished. And if the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Interior does not punish all these players, then they are going to be blamed for what is going to come ahead here, because we are going to face a very charged political atmosphere, and if people don't own up or are not held to account for their actions and inactions, then it is going to be messy ahead here. Thank you.